Gentlemen, and welcome to today's podcast. And it's really been an exciting week for us with the recent event happening within our environment. So I am very delighted to have your presence here to talk about those things. So once again, I want to say welcome to our Broad Matters on today's podcast. I would want us to individually introduce ourselves so that our audience will actually know us by name and representation. So I want to start with my friend Ola.
Hi, thanks JZ Jalozone. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Ola Kunle. A lot of people know me as Ola in the UK here. And what do? I'm also a student and rounding off quite in a short while. So thank you for having me again. That's me.
Thank you very much. And next is Mema. Do you want to introduce yourself, to the audience?
All right. Thank you, Jello, for having me on this podcast. My name is Mema. That's my profession. It's good to be here.
Thank you very much. And I have with me the mic.
Yeah, thank you, Jonathan. My name is Michael Okibe, and I'm a student, I'm a good Nigerian, and I'm here on this podcast. Thank you.
I like that. I like that. So you're good Nigerian.
We are good Nigerians.
Yeah.
Most importantly, that is who we are.
Yeah.
We are Nigerians before any other thing.
Of course.
And today we'll be talking about the recent announcement made by the UK government. The internet was buzzing like this time last week, and it was about an announcement putting a ban on all international students coming to the UK, restricting them from coming to study with their family. A lot of people did not take that announcement in good faith. A lot of them took it with a pinch of salt, and the internet has been in a state of higgity-piggity. So we are here to talk about it. So I'm going to start quickly from Michael. Do you want to tell what is your view about this announcement? How do you feel as a Nigerian and as a student, as you're doing your masters here in the UK? What do you feel about this announcement?
Well, I thought we were going to start strong, but anyway.
Yeah.
It's fine. I don't think I have. I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked by the announcement. It was as if I saw it coming. Because in 2022, when I came in here, sometime in January, I went to class, and I know how many we were in class. International students, precisely. And so, fast forward to September, when the new academic session started.
The shrink.
Yeah, no, not a shrink actually. There was a kind of geometric increase.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that.
And the number of people in my class. I came to class and I was saying, what's happening? Even when you're walking around the school premises, you notice that a lot of international.
There's been a surge, yeah.
Yeah, a surge, real surge, and the number of international students coming in. So I said to myself, the UK government perhaps might do something about this. I mean, this is just a projection, a personal projection, but I wasn't serious about it.
And here we are today.
Here we are. So it didn't come as a surprise, it didn't come as a shock. It was something but when it happened, I said, oh, maybe they're looking for the best way to, clamp down on the number of people who are coming in here. So it wasn't a surprise.
Thank you very much. That wasn't a surprise to you. You saw it coming. Probably you are very conversant with the way the UK people work.
No, I'm not really conversant.
Alright, thank you very
You see
much.
things happening just around you. You can have that feeling.
Yeah.
You were just a feeling.
Okay, I'll go back to Mema. How did you take that announcement?
For me, it really didn't go down well because I felt it was an unnecessary decision given the strategic point where the UK is in the world map. It wasn't a good decision to make. First, the UK is a lonely place. It's where you need your family around. You're coming to increase your wealth of knowledge. You're coming to also give to them. both financially in terms of the costs of the education you're acquiring. Your family is coming, your family has to be here, it has to be in unification. So if you say people should not come with their families, there should be a valid reason for that. And it's not to say if people come with their families or when the surge happened, then there has been an increase in crime or there was an increase in racism or what have you. It's just totally an uncalled for decision. I think it wasn't thought through. I think it's really, it's a myopic decision that was not.
Okay, thank you. Remember, okay, so sorry to cut you short there. Are you trying to tell us from your perspective that this is a wrong decision? If I get you right,
Yeah.
from the part of the UK government. So, is it coming on the premise of racism or prejudice?
For me, I would say basically it's sentimental. There was really no reason for it. Just like I said in my opening statement, if you say now that this international community or these international students are coming with their families, then crime rate has increased or possibly the social amenities is reduced to your people, then there will be a valid reason. To say, oh, don't come in with your family, or to say if a family, 1 per 4 family members, and at the end of the day, you don't have, because people will look at it and say, there was a social housing crisis and all of that, but there's none. There's none. There's no way you go, there's no statistics to show that because people came and they were sleeping under the bridges, there was,
can I remind you, remember that I read about this family that actually came into the UK and couldn't get an accommodation. So they moved into the church and were sleeping in the church. Now the social workers had to take the children away from the mom, and the mom happens to be the student herself.
That would be one.
Do you not think these are part of the alarming reasons why the UK government felt like, see, we're getting complaints,
no, but that's just
the
one
school
case.
system
That's
is
just one
not,
case.
Yeah, that is one case.
That's why I said statistically, there's nothing to show that things have gone downhill for that decision to be reached.
Alright, thank you very much. Okay, quickly to you.
Alright, so while I was
I know you've been itching to say something.
So while I was saying that,
Yeah.
a lot of things were popping in my head, and I feel, for me, I wouldn't say it's a wrong move, and I wouldn't say it's totally wrong, But what I would say is that what is informing this decision in the first place? We need to look at what, why, who is affected, why is this happening at this time, So like you said, I already have this premonition that this is going to happen, because I took a couple of my friends that want to come here. I told them, if you don't come this year, I'm sorry, I don't think this will work for you next year, because...
Then I want to put a question to you, and also Michael have explained that he saw the number of people increasing in his class, and he felt this was coming.
Yeah.
What informed your decision to feel like, your premonition that this may not happen next year?
So we've seen this happen a couple of years back, wherein the UK government, they change policies. They change the goalpost every time. There's a reason for them to go back to where they were before, because before now, you are not allowed to bring your families if you were a student. I used to hear that,
you went back home.
You go back home. There's no post-study visa.
I'm very sure of that. No post-study visa. I'm not sure of the restriction with families.
All right. Okay.
That, families have always been there.
All right.
Ab initio, because I know a lot of my uncles have been here like 10, 20 years ago.
Okay.
So it's always been there.
All right.
But the UK government is saying that in 2019, the statistics was there. From 2019 and 2022, it tripled.
So now let's talk about this now. I am from Nigeria.
To cut it short, Nigerians will be mostly affected because they had the highest number of dependents coming into the country.
And then we need to look at that statistics. Now, why is the UK making this decision? They are saying that it's based on infrastructure. There's a pressure on their infrastructure right now.
Yes.
So it means that there's an infrastructural deficit. As a leader, and if you look at Nigeria, when people want to come invest in Nigeria, the selling point of Nigeria is this is the most populous black nation in the country, in the whole world. 200 million. What is the total population of the UK? As at 2022, 68 million.
Yeah, 68 million. We're looking
It's not even. It's lesser than what we have in Nigeria.
And we're looking at the landmass too.
So if you look at a country like UK, I think instead of seeing a problem, you see a solution. You see an opportunity.
Yeah.
And we have seen it from what has been raised from other parts, other countries that belong to the UK, that there's an advantage to this thing. Are we looking at the problem or are we looking at the solution? So if there's a deficit, what are you supposed to do? Increase what you have. Now, I know very well that in Northern Ireland, where we are here, in Shankill, there's a lot of fallow grounds there. And I've seen with my own eyes when they say that only in the North Belfast and Shankill can provide 60,000 housing units. Do you know what that means?
I don't think we have up to 10,000 housing units in Shankill.
And they can provide 60,000. So there's an opportunity for you with the investment that has come into the system, where we're in Northern Ireland, international students in Queen's University and also University where I am currently schooling, we have given this country, Northern Ireland, £1 billion.
£1 billion.
£1 billion.
That is a good.
That is huge. That is huge. So why would you say you want to stop it? Because you feel like there's a pressure on your system.
But I think what I have to comment now is the statistics is based on students.
Just students, yes.
Just students. But they are saying the families.
But the students are not alone. Families. They are not alone.
No, but they are concerned about the families. If the statistics you're quoting is just based on students. So now students are able to offer.
I am now telling you that the students are not alone. So what is informing my decision of being able to come to the UK, of choosing to come to the UK?
Is because you can come with your
Because I can come with my family.
Okay. Now,
that is what's driving the number
now,
£1 billion.
Yeah. Let's get it. That is £1 billion and not coming only from Nigerian students. Now we're looking at all other international students, okay? And Nigerians have more dependents. So possibly with this policy, Nigerians would retreat from coming to the UK. There will be a decline. But will it affect other international students? Probably no. Because they are not migrating with their dependents.
No.
Don't you think that the UK government has looked like that?
No, when you say they're not migrating with their families, I think it's not as much. Yeah.
Check the statistics.
No, you will say it's not as much.
It's not as much.
Do you want me to show you?
No, you will say it's not as much.
Yeah, it's not as much.
But you cannot say that they don't.
Can I say something here?
That's the point.
Now, the highest number of students in the UK is China.
Yes, that's correct.
China has about 115,000 students in the UK.
Undergrad, postgrad.
I don't know.
Across board.
Foreign students across board in the UK. Followed by India. India has about 90,000. Nigeria has 30,000. And our dependents in Nigerian dependents is about similar amount, almost 30,000. Let's say 60,000. So if you are saying both my dependents as a Nigerian and that as a student, we are 60,000. Not even enough to cover what China.
When was that released? I mean the statistics.
It's 2022.
2022.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's very recent.
Yeah, that's very recent.
And one other point I see is, and that's why I said there's really no justification for this decision.
No, there is a justification.
This is why
They do have a justification. It's just a
this is
tweak.
why I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
These dependents are not dormant. They're also contributing. They're working. They pay their national insurance. They pay for. They go to the shops. So there's money being injected back into the system.
They pay for visa.
So
they pay for the IHS.
Yes.
Which is quite
they pay for IHS
amount of money.
Yes. So it's humongous, and this money needs to be deployed back, increase infrastructure. So it would have been more for Sweden government or whoever took that decision to say, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's look at where can we, when we have this dense population, let's see if we can increase infrastructure in those places.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be totally dependent on what they have. I know where my kids go to school, there's currently a new school being built there, around £4 million. And so if going by the statistics that Ola has given now, £1 billion has been injected, it means you can build, go back, how long is it going to take to build 2, 3, 4 schools around? How many hospitals do you need? So it calls for more creativity, but not taking a lopsided decision.
Well, could I also say that perhaps when you look at it critically, you see that it now appears as if maybe the UK government is threatened somehow by the number of people coming in, and not even trying to consider the part.
Threatened in terms of what?
Threatened in terms of the number of international students, coming in. And not basically that they don't know what they have to do with the amount of money being injected.
Yeah.
Because if you look at it clearly, you cannot tell me that the UK government does not understand that they are making a lot of money from the fact that people come here and then they go to school here, they stay here and they come here with their families too, who are also paying taxes and working.
Sorry, that makes me to want to ask the question: what does the UK government want? That is why. So what I'm going to ask is, what do they want?
The UK government feels that if they continue to allow this number of people to come in, okay, they have limited time to provide adequate infrastructure to support these people. Let me give you an example. There has been some complaints, of people. I've got complaints, and I don't want to quote anybody here, but there has been, inadequate staffing level in the schools. Do you understand? That I've seen some of my friends that came in and they said, "We can't take your child, we are full. We can't take your child, we are full. The school is full. The school is full."
Yeah.
So these are the threats. And as long as I'm concerned, I think it will be unfair for even the children who are coming in not to be able to access this basic education.
Yeah.
So I think the UK government is saying, probably this might be a temporary measure. Perhaps I'm not.
Maybe a 5-year tax
to say, okay,
that
will give us time. Okay, we are benefiting from this economically.
No, but they've not acknowledged to say they're really benefiting.
Exactly.
Because if you come with a decision, there's what you call problem and solution. This is a problem. What is the solution?
How long does it take us?
How long is it? That's what I said.
I don't think they're looking at the solution.
They're not.
No, you may not also say. You may not also conclude that they're not looking at the solution, because I know a lot of people are also challenging that. Those who are also
100%.
We just got the statement from Braverman. Braverman. We just got a statement from Braverman, and so I know a lot of them too who are also representing their people.
Even the Universities Commission.
Exactly. They are also challenging that. So I really do not think that they are just keeping quiet. It's something that somebody brought up, and then they are also looking at it. When there is enough pressure, they could also succumb. You can't tell.
Thank you, gentlemen. At this point, I want to just quickly spotlight MD, the Nigerian YouTuber who granted interview to the BBC and has talked extensively on this. What is your take on that interview?
Well, it's not in order.
Okay.
So,
I think he
what is your perspective? It is one of the highlights of this because it caused an uproar on the internet.
Yeah.
So I want to bring it to spotlight. What do you think about that event?
Well, I don't. You said it was an extensive interview. I don't think it was extensive.
An interview that lasted for almost 1 hour.
We did not see it. We only saw what BBC, what BBC showed. He said it was like a 1 hour interview. But we didn't see that. What we saw was what BBC showed us, where specifically he said that that international students don't come here because of school, because of they want to acquire because of the education. They just need access to get into this place and
bring their families.
And then bring their families to. Now I feel this is coming from a guy who came in last year, same time with me, and who's also a beneficiary of the whole thing. But you see, the point is this: I don't have any problem with what he said, but I have a problem with where he said it. The platform where he said it, it's my concern. Wisdom is profitable to direct.
Yeah.
At a particular time, I do not recall, I don't know how to say this now, but I know that people don't talk down on their countries in a foreign land.